Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source of Second Amendment news. This one is going to anger probably all of us because it is a huge step backwards. Before I get into this bad news, let's talk about some good news. The Strybog A3 hits the States and is live today. And you can get yours over Gun Pro Deals. I am very eagerly anticipating mine. If you want to see more about this little pistol, you can watch Mr. Guns and Gears review. Mike did a hell of a job. He was the first cat in the country to get one. Very jealous. But if you are familiar with what we call a current version of the Strybog, this new version is a roller delayed version for the blowback. Much smoother, and I can't wait to play with it. But it is live today. Head over to Gun Pro Deals, aka Gun Zone Deals. Get used to that new name because it's coming. Now let's get into the infuriating part of today's video. This pandemic happened, and as a result, tyrants across the country who call themselves governors, they closed anything related to the Second Amendment. Well, not all of them. Some of them actually do their job correctly. But they closed down anything related to the Second Amendment and deemed it non-essential, even though it clearly says in that document none of them read. It's called the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. It clearly says in there that those things are civil rights. They're recognized in the Constitution, so you would think that the sniffles can't supersede something that's a right. However, bedlam ensued and tyrants went crazy. Many states had to be sued into correct thinking. This state included, thank you to my friends Andrew Kuchar, Gun Owners of America, as well as GOAL, Second Amendment Foundation, and the Firearms Policy Coalition. Wearing their shirt today. I love this shirt. People always ask where this shirt comes from. If you head over to their website, that's where I got it. So yeah, it's a cool shirt. So let's get back into this. All right, so a lot of states had to be sued into reopening their gun shops and anything related to the second. So that trend, unfortunately, is still going. Some of the lawsuits are still going. And we just took one on the chin. Yesterday, the decision came out in New York. New York, for those who are keeping track, they're in the 2nd District. And a federal judge decided that King Andrew Cuomo was correct in saying that firearm-related businesses are non-essential, and he was correct in deciding to close them, thus denying people the ability to purchase firearms. And I'll tell you why. We'll get into this case a little bit here. But before I get into this, and don't forget, a couple weeks ago, the U.S. Supreme Court just disintegrated 10 cases, 10 legitimate Second Amendment challenges, because they just didn't want to take it up. They didn't want to have to make a rule that would be binding for a couple generations supporting the Second Amendment, right? Because the Chief Justice is a clown. But that decision by them, or lack thereof, if you've noticed, has kickstarted a renewed interest, a renewed fervor by the anti-gunners in, let's put bans everywhere. Let's try to ban drill presses, right? Let's try to ban gun-looking stickers. They're going crazy right now. It is now imperative. It is more important than ever that we have to, as a Second Amendment community across this country, be more interested in the politician side. What do I mean? Now that the courts have made it obvious their slant and their point of view, it is imperative that we kill bills in their legislative infancy. We can't let them get signed into law. And how do you do that? You can only do that by talking to your legislators, talking to your state reps, your state senators. Get used to doing that, because it's going to have to be done a lot now until the courts start to correct themselves, if they ever correct themselves. I mean, case in point, it was 10:30 last night, and I was talking to my state senator, Ryan Fatman, here in Massachusetts about a bill that's going on. So you guys, some people don't want to do that, but it is imperative. And we have to get off our derrieres and vote, especially this November is imperative. If the anti-gun left win the White House and the Senate and keep or increase their majority in the House of Representatives, yeah. So let's get into this case here, okay? So this case was started in March of 2020, just after King Cuomo closed everything. And the challenge was, hey, we're essential. This is the Second Amendment, and you can't close these things. If you're going to allow Walmart to stay open, then you have to allow something that is a right to stay open, correct? I think we'd all be in an agreement. This case was brought up by Dark Storm Industries. They're a distributor out of Long Island, if I remember correctly. This decision just came out, and the judge, who's senior U.S. District Judge Lawrence Kahn, K-A-H-N, like the wrath of, he decided that King Cuomo was right in doing this. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to read you some of the quotes, and your brain is going to pop out of your head, because this quote proves how skewed the courts have become and what they are following for their course of action. Instead of deciding things on the constitutionality of a decision or a law, they're moving to something a little more trivial. One of the things that the judge said was that because guns were available even during the height of the pandemic, Second Amendment rights were not unduly infringed upon. And what did he mean there? Well, in New York, I guess, their Walmarts still might offer some firearms, as do some hardware stores. So what he's saying is that because they allowed hardware stores and Walmarts to stay open, in theory, the Second Amendment was still, you could still go out and purchase a firearm. Well, what happened if you only lived in an area that had a gun shop and you didn't have a Walmart near you, or you didn't have a hardware store that sold guns, or your Walmart didn't sell the item that you were looking for? Here in Massachusetts, Walmart doesn't sell any firearms anymore, and they barely sell any ammo. They don't sell any handgun ammo, to include .223, 5.56, 7.62, because AR pistols, you can't use those. So that was his basis, was because you could still technically get a gun, didn't matter what kind. There was one available, so he didn't violate the second. You might have had to travel from Albany all the way down to Long Island to get it, but it was available. The judge said that the Cuomo administration, quote, made a policy decision about which businesses qualified as essential and which did not. In the face of a global pandemic, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. In the face of a global plandemic, the court is loath to second-guess these policy decisions. Having found the burden on the plaintiff's Second Amendment rights is insubstantial, the court has no need to apply any form of heightened scrutiny to the executive orders. So, for those who don't do legal speak, this is what that judge just said. It's the governor's policy, and their policy now supersede your constitutional rights. Plain and simple. That's what he said. The court is loath to second-guess those policy decisions. Well, this is how it was supposed to have gone. Take out a gun case, all right? Some people out here who watch these are actually anti-gun people. They watch my videos. I always get thumbs down from them. They're like Bloomberg's and Moms Demand Action people, which is fine. Welcome to the truth. Insert, say, freedom of speech here, okay? I'm making a decision as king of this land that you can't talk anywhere around here, you can talk up on that mountain, and that's it. And because you're available to talk, this is not infringing upon your right. That's exactly how it goes. How the decision from the judge should have went was, hey, you know what, King Wannabe, everybody has the right to talk. You can't restrict their right to talk to one mountaintop. It is absolutely an infringement, right? We would all agree. And that's exactly what happened. Just flip it to the Second Amendment case here. So the judge is 200% wrong, and he's letting his personal politics and the agenda dictate his decisions, which they're not supposed to do, which is why it's important that we change our course of action, because we can't depend on the courts. It's time to start calling and demanding that our representatives are held accountable for what they do, and showing up and educating them the same way that the group of moms in red shirts do, the same way that Bloomberg's cronies do. We have to start doing that as well. Now that you're frustrated, there's a caveat to this judge's decision. If New York experiences a spike in coronavirus cases and King Cuomo decides that he is going to start shutting down businesses again, guess what? Every gun shop will be closed as well. Now, you'll probably still be able to buy that one 20 gauge shotgun at Walmart that nobody really wants to protect themselves with. I mean, who wants to EDC a 20 gauge shotgun? Nobody. But because that one 20 gauge shotgun is available 75 miles away from you, your rights aren't infringed. And that is what this judge just decided. All right, guys, if you're familiar with gun websites, G-Webs, he's all over. Very, very big proponent of the Second Amendment, very good advocate for our rights. Annually, he has a campaign on Indiegogo, and it's the 2A Patch Batch. And what it is a bunch of stalwarts in different areas of the Second Amendment. They make some patches available, and you can buy some limited edition patches. I was humbled to be asked to be part of this year's campaign, and the first ever Guns and Gadgets patch will be available for purchase right now. And I'll have a link to the campaign down below. Please check it out. There are a lot of groups on there that you'll be familiar with. Liberty Dolls on there, Clover Tack, Tony Simon's on there, Walk the Talk USA, and others. Kevin's on there from No Other Choice. So there's a lot of cool people on there. These patches will only be made if the campaign is fully funded. It's a crowdsourced thing. So check it out. I'll have a link down below. I purchased the full set. If you would like some of the patches, head on over and help fund G-Web's campaign there. I think you'll like what you see. All right, guys and gals, thank you for your time. It is Friday. Go, please, and enjoy it. Even though this probably angered you, go enjoy your day. Hope you're going to have a great weekend. And I ask, if you are new to this channel, if you are interested in the Second Amendment news, whether it's good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video and share it with some friends so that more people can actually know what's going on out there. Until we see each other again, please be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a weapon. Take care, everybody.